Hello everyone, welcome back to another vlog. I'm so happy that you guys are here. If you're joining in for the first time, my name is Stacy. I've noticed quite a few new faces around here, so I just wanted to say a quick hello. I'm so excited that you've joined in. I film a lot of lifestyle content and just kind of day-to-day things, but I have a very heavy focus on book/reading vlogs. Books have been such a vital part in my life since I could literally read, and I share quite a bit of that on this platform. It's just what I love filming the most, and it just makes me so happy. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, I hope that you will stick around, and yeah, I'm just so excited to have you here. So thank you so much for clicking on this video and for joining along. It really means so much to me. With that being said, I want to have a very productive reading week this week. It is currently Friday today, so I kind of want to challenge myself from this Friday to the next and see how many books I can cross off my list. I am also trying to reach my reading goal before the year is up. I have a goal of 100 books and I'm currently at about like 74, I believe. So I feel like we're on a good track. I end up reading anywhere from like 18 to 20 books a month. A little excessive, but there's just so many good books every single month that I just want to devour, and there's only so many days in the month, and yeah, just try to get through as much as I can and make sure that I am enjoying what I'm reading and make sure that I'm giving them the attention that they deserve. But I love just having little weekly reading challenges for myself and just seeing how many books I can get through. I love to see that progress and to document it, so yeah, it just makes me really happy. But yeah, this week we are reading from one Friday to the other, a whole week, and the weather this week is also going to be very gloomy and very rainy, so I'm honestly very excited about that. I figured it was the perfect opportunity to just snuggle up with a good book in my hand and just kind of spend the next week just reading as much as I possibly can. But before we get started on all the reading, I do want to share what I'm currently reading, as well as a book that I recently got in the mail. Starting off with the books that I'm currently reading, these are the 3 books that I want to tackle within this vlog. If there's time, we can throw another book in there, but for right now, we have 3 that I've selected. I've started 2 out of the 3 so far, and I'm really excited to tackle all these 3 within this vlog. I am hopeful that we can get through all 3 of them within the span of this week, and hopefully throw in an extra book or 2. We'll see. But since we're going to be cozying up at home, I feel like we'll have plenty of time to read a sufficient amount. But yeah, starting off with what I'm currently reading, the first one is a book by Stephen King called 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒓𝒐. It looks like this. This book is honestly so good already. I'm currently on page 121. I've read this much here and I have this much left. So I'm not too far into it. I want to say I'm maybe like 30% into the book so far, but this book is basically described as an apocalyptic horror novel. But it's basically about a person that is trying to reunite with his young son. He meets some people along the way. There's this global phenomenon that's happening where there's this mysterious signal broadcast that is targeting like a global cell phone network. This signal broadcast, whenever you answer your phone, it turns you into a mindless, vicious animal, and it's just crazy. It's honestly just giving Walking Dead. I used to be such a huge fan of that show, and it's just giving those vibes so much. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you would like this book, to be honest. This story is very much within that focus. It's just bringing back like all the memories of me watching that show. So yeah, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and if you're a fan of just like apocalyptic type of stories, then this is the book for you. I am enjoying it so far. It is so good. And then another book that I recently picked up, which I am so excited about. I have become such a Freida McFadden girly. I picked up my first book from her at the beginning of this year, and I fell completely in love with her. I love her writing style. She just has a way of reeling me in, and which is when I think that I just have guessed what's going to happen. She just delivers the most perfect plot twist, and it just rocks my whole world. I'm like, how does she do this? How does she do this every single time where she makes me look like a fool because I think I've figured her out, and she's just like, girl, you thought. But this is her newest book that she just released called The Boyfriend. It looks like this. I found it recently at the store and I just had to pick it up. But this one is basically about a mystery man that dates his victims before them. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be so good. But then again, I end up loving every book that I read by her. I just knew that I wanted to include this one in a reading vlog, so I'm so excited. I just got this book like a week ago, but I had been saving it because I just wanted to start it already, but I wanted to film my progress reading it and everything. So yeah, I'm so excited. This is going to be one that I'm including in this vlog. And then the last book on my currently reading list that I am very invested in, to be honest, it's called Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. It looks like this. Honestly, the cover to this is so gorgeous, as well as the other covers to this series. This is part 1 to the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I know that there are 2 more that are not on the shelves. There's one that's part 3 that's coming out in a few days, actually. So I'm trying to get through this one so that I could buy the other 2, especially when the 3rd one comes out, because I can already tell that I'm going to be invested and that this is definitely a series that I want to own physically. So I'm currently reading this one as well, and I've just been turning the pages because it's just, I'm invested. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like this style, like very like Western. This is definitely new to me. I haven't picked up a book that was quite like this type of setting, so it's very exciting because it's new. I started it today and I'm currently on chapter 10, page 110. So I have currently read this much and I need this much left. I could just already tell that I'm really going to like this. I mean, I'm already 10 chapters in and I like it already. So we might need to take a little trip to the bookstore in this vlog to pick up part 2 of this series. I believe it's called Swift and Saddled. And then I know part 3 comes out in just a few days. It's called Lost and Lassoed. So hopefully I can get through this book pretty quickly. That way we can pick up that one and then we can tackle the 3rd one because I just want to keep going with these. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue this series and excited to have them in my collection. And then moving on to just the one book that I got recently in the mail. I actually was not expecting to receive this book. I knew that it was coming out in also a few days. I received it in the mail yesterday. It's just a nice surprise to come home and have unexpected book mail. But this one is called Didion and Babbitt. It looks like this. I am very excited about this one, and I'm also happy that this one is a hardcover book, and I was honestly just so thrilled to receive this. This is an art copy of this book, so I am just honestly honored to be able to have this in my hands before it hits the shelves. I believe it's hitting the shelves on November 12th, so I definitely want to dive into this one pretty soon, just so that I can give my thoughts in a review. But yes, I am so excited to have this in my personal collection and to be able to dive into it soon, so thank you so much to Scribner/Simon & Schuster for sending me a copy of this. I am so stoked. But I think right now I kind of want to just take a little bit of time and just relax on my bed for a bit. I want to start reading because the clock is ticking and I just want to see how much I can get through. I think I want to continue reading Done and Dusted. I'm just really excited about this book, so I'm feeling like this is the vibe right now. This is what I want to start off by reading in this vlog. I was reading it all morning and then I had to get ready to run some errands. So right now I just kind of want to jump back into it. But yes, thank you guys so much again for clicking on this video. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Let's get some reading done. Wait, but why do I love this book so much? I just think it's so cute. I don't know. There's something about these characters and I like them. I like them. Yeah, guys, I think we're definitely gonna have to take a bookstore trip in this vlog because I need part 2. I'm just really loving the character so far. I'm just loving the story. I don't know. I'm very excited about this book for some reason. I don't know. It is the next day. I'm about to make my way over to Barnes & Noble. I ended up finishing Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I gave it a 5-star. I don't know what they put in that book, but I was totally invested from start to finish. I enjoyed that book so much. I really love the characters. And I just woke up this morning and I just got ready. I had a chill morning. I just really wanted to make my way over to Barnes today to pick up part 2 of this series, Swift and Saddled. I just can't wait to dive into the next one. Like I said, the 3rd one comes out in a few days, so I really want to get through this one before I buy the 3rd one. So right now, I'm going to make my way over to Barnes & Noble really quick, pick that book up, do a little bit of browsing, and then I kind of wanted to go to a local coffee spot and just sit down and get a little bit of work done on my laptop, but also get some reading done. I brought my laptop and all my stuff with me, but I also brought the next book that I'm going to be starting today. So I'm going to be starting The Boyfriend by Freida McFadden. I am really excited about this one, and I felt like today was a perfect day to start it. Just kind of wanted to have like a very relaxing Saturday today, so I wanted to cozy up with a good book and just enjoy some matcha or something. So I'm going to make my way over to Barnes & Noble really quick, pick up the book, and then we'll get a little bit of reading done. So it is currently Tuesday today, November 5th. I wanted to go over some of the books that I've finished so far in this vlog. I feel like I've done nothing but read literally the last 3 days straight, and I'm very surprised already with how many books that I've gotten through. I didn't expect to have read this much already in a short amount of days because I'm still filming until Friday. So we still have like 3 more days within this vlog, and I've already read so much, and I'm just so excited about the progress. I wanted to leave these parts until the end of the vlog, but I feel like I've already gone through so many books, and I just kind of want to share the ones that I've gotten through so far before I get through any more. But so far I've gotten through 4. One of these I had already started and I was about like 30% done with, but I ended up finishing it already about 2 days ago, and it was just the best story, to be honest. I am so happy that I got through this book. I was taking my time with it, to be honest, and when it was over, I was just heartbroken because I wanted to read it for the first time again and experience those emotions with it. So I was honestly just taking my time for that reason. I didn't want it to be over, and yeah, it was a whole thing. So I wanted to go over the list really quick. The first one on the list is the one that I had already started that was like 30% in. It's gonna live rent-free in my mind for the rest of my life, and I feel like that's such an exaggeration, but honestly it was just that good. But it's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. At this point, if you don't know, I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. I feel like every single time I film about a book that I'm reading of hers or I talk about her, I constantly say that over and over again. I sound like a broken record at this point, I'm sure, but I'm just so in love with the way that she writes. I just feel like she deserves so much praise, especially with this book. This has to be the best work that she's ever done. And as soon as I finished this, I realized that this was in fact the best book that I've read this year. The story was just incredible. The characters were so great. I was just completely invested into the story from beginning to end. So much that I just ended up taking a break from it because I didn't want it to be over. This book I am never ever going to get over. It was just so incredible. Easy 5-star. I wish I could give it 10. In my heart, I'm giving it 10. Moving on to the 3 that I ended up finished reading within the last 3 days. So I started one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then one on Monday, and I read each one to its entirety. I honestly don't even know where the days went. The last 3 days, I just read so much, and I was just really surprised that I read a book a day because that honestly never happens, but these books had me in a chokehold and I just couldn't put them down. My brain felt like it was so fried, but I was just so invested and I didn't want to put them down. But yes, these were my Saturday, Sunday, and Monday reads. Starting off with the first one. The first one was The Boyfriend by 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒓𝒐. I love 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒓𝒐 so much. She's become one of my favorite thriller/horror authors. She delivers the most amazing plot twists, but this was the new book that she had just released recently. I will say that the ending left me a little bit disappointed. I was expecting more from it. I feel like the majority of her books, when I read them, I am just so fulfilled by the end of them. I feel like they have such a great ending. And this one was kind of lacking a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. The entire book was still a 4-star read for me because it was so great. The usual 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒓𝒏𝒈 beauty, it was so good. But the ending, if I could just change that ending, it would have been a 5-star read for me, I think. But it really just lacked so much, and I was disappointed about that. But it didn't keep this from being such a great read regardless, and I would recommend it anyway. And then moving on to the other 2 books that I read from beginning to end within a span of 2 days. You guys, I'm so excited about this series, to be honest. I already talked about the first one at the beginning of this vlog, but I ended up getting through it within that same day. But yeah, these next 2 are part of a series, and I'm just so excited. I bought the first one when I was on my trip in Miami, and I didn't expect to dive into it immediately upon returning, but I ended up doing that and then I loved it. But I bought the second one in this series just the other day, which I showed clips of me at the bookstore, and I ended up reading it within that same day. And then, as you just saw in the previous clips, I went to the bookstore again because part 3 actually released today, and I ran and basically bought it. So I have not started the third one yet, that just released today, but we're gonna start it today and probably finish it today, not gonna lie. But yes, these books are part of the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage, and it has these 3 books, done and dusted. And then I went to the bookstore, as you guys saw, and I got Swift and Saddled, which was part 2. And today, Lost and Lassoed released, and I am so excited about it. I usually never buy new releases like on the day that they hit the shelves, unless it's a Stephen King book, but I have loved this series so much. The characters are so relatable. I love the way that this author writes, and she honestly just pulled me in within the first book. The second one was just as good, and I just know that I'm not going to be disappointed with this one, and I'm just so excited to start it. I knew immediately upon reading the first one that I was going to want all 3 of these in my personal collections. We had to do it. But yeah, that's basically what I read so far within a span of like 3 days. I have just been going through them. But yes, I think right now I just kind of want to dive right into this book. I don't want to waste any time. I am just so excited to just start reading it already. I already have my bookmark in here ready to go. So I think I'm just going to spend a little bit of time on my bed, just relaxing a little bit and devouring this write-up. I feel like I have some really crazy hair right now, so please pay no mind to whatever flips my hair is doing today, but I realized as I was editing the video you're currently watching that I did not do a proper outro. I ended up getting up to Friday and reading my last 2 books that I ended up reading in this vlog. So I ended up finishing the last book in the Rebel Blue Wrench series, which was Lost and Lassoed. I loved it so much. I ended up finishing it, I think, the following day from the day that I had gotten it on release day. I believe I gave it a 5-star rating, and it was just so good. Honestly, just every book in this series was just such a hit. I loved them all so much, and it was really hard to distinguish which one I like the best. I feel like I kind of related to each character in different ways, and I just devoured them right up. I love them so much. But I also ended up finishing 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒓𝒐 by Stephen King, which was kind of like the apocalyptic type of horror novel. That one was also so amazing. I gave it a 4-star. I really enjoyed that book so much. Overall, I'm just so stoked about all the books I ended up getting through in this vlog. I honestly had only expected to get through 3 books, if anything, but I ended up adding an extra 3, so we ended up reading a total of 6 books, which is so crazy. Also, in between the 6 books that I did read throughout this vlog, I also ended up reading a couple of others through audiobook format, which I hadn't really mentioned, but I did pick up, I think, about like 3 different audiobooks that I got through within the span of this week as well. Even though I did throw in some audiobooks here and there, I'm only counting the physical ones for the sake of this video. But it was definitely more, at least like 8 or 9 altogether if you want to count them as a whole, which is so bizarre. But I'm very excited about the progress anyway. But altogether with these 6 books that I read physically and the audiobooks as well, it brought the reading goal number way up from like 74 at the beginning of this vlog to now 87, which is so insane because I'm only 13 books away at this point from reaching my goal of 100. If I continue to read at the pace that I've been going, I feel like I'll definitely surpass 100. So we will see. But yeah, we are currently at 87 out of 100 in our reading goal. I honestly did rot pretty hard at home, to be honest. Rotting winter is quickly approaching, and I just feel like I've taken full advantage of that and just have been reading as much as I possibly can. I feel like so far this is probably the most that I've read as a whole in any of the reading vlogs that I've done. I definitely feel like this was the most productive one by far. I'm so excited about that. But yes, I think right now I'm just gonna go ahead and go home because I've kind of just been out since this morning and I'm feeling a little tired. I want to go back into my little hole and just rot away at home right now, and I think that is the vibe. And read, of course, because we have no chill and we have to just go home to our little books, to our little hole. But yes, I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here, but thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I am so excited that you guys have joined in. I hope that you'll stick around, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye!